Hi Gemini, welcome. So Gemini, this is going to be your spiritual tarot reading and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. So I actually tried to start the reading a few different times and for whatever reason I just kept getting distracted or stopped 3 times exactly actually. And as I look down, we have the number 3 for the 3rd house, which is your house, Gemini. So your card is out. So 3s may be significant to you. I think I've said that in your readings recently. And I also got 333 in the Capricorn spiritual reading last month. So, yeah. So, anyways, Gemini. Also, when I was preparing for your reading, I was getting 2 polar opposite energies. Like this part of you that really wants to go for, you know, what you're wanting, this very determined, like outside of the box energy, and then this other part of you that's more like comfort zone, emotional, kind of almost what's the word, isolating type of energy. So you might be going through 2 different extremes during this time frame. You know, one day or one moment feeling like, yes, I got this, or feeling motivated to move towards something or past something, and then another moment or another day feeling very introverted. That's the word I was feeling, or very reflective over your emotions, Gemini. And there seems to be like this back and forth going on here. And then as I look at the cards, you have the card of Saturn, the card of balance, and the outlook. So Aquarius, Libra energy here for you as well. So this is talking about being disciplined, structured with your time, being responsible and controlling self. And this is talking about also balancing your emotions a little bit better, especially when it comes to your emotional reactions. As I'm getting like this very reactive energy, because sometimes when we're going in between those 2 energies that I talked about earlier, it can cause like a very reactive type of response. Okay. So this is encouraging you to stay balanced and pay attention to your outlook, because your outlook on life means everything. Literally everything, because you can only call into you what matches your beliefs and your belief about self and your belief about life in general. But this is also talking about your attitude, your affect, how you're coming off to other people, the role that you're playing here, and the impact that you make on others. So very interesting energy to get us started. I am going to go a little bit deeper here for you, Gemini, and see what we get. And you have the card of maturity, the card of the burden. I'm getting all kinds of songs too. The card of slowing down and the card of healing. So again, there's some heaviness showing up here in the energy, but the encouragement is to take the mature approach, to take your time, to prioritize your healing, and to pay attention to how you're thinking about things, your perspective, in order to keep that internal balance for you, Gemini. So some of the songs I read, they were like old 80s songs. One of them was Take On Me. Particularly the lyric where he says, take me home. I have no idea who sings that. If that resonates with you, maybe check out that song. I feel like some of you have recently it just feels like you're taking on a lot. It just feels like there's a lot on your plate, Gemini, and it's like, you know, you need to do the right thing. And a lot of you are disciplined enough to take that approach. But it also gets heavy at times, I feel, or there's something weighing on you, okay? So the Knight of Cups, the Emperor, the 4 of Pentacles. And I'm getting the song by Shawn Mendes, There's Nothing Holding Me Back. But I do feel like there was something holding you back, though, and maybe you're getting ready to break loose from that. We'll see. So in the headspace, you have the Knight of Cups, the Emperor, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Wheel. So Gemini, this is staying in control of your emotions. Absolutely. but also keeping some things to yourself until you feel a little bit better, okay? But your luck is going to change, as this is the card of fortune and things turning around. What is that about? And then followed by the star. It could be in relation to an Aquarius, and or you may have Aquarius in your chart. But it's all about healing either way. Doesn't matter. It's like there's this message too about like some of the things that you passed on, or like things that you've passed on in the past, or that you were passed up for, was for your highest good. It's almost like you passing on something or holding out. To me, this message is talking about like holding out for what you truly want. Now, at times it may have felt like you were holding out for it. At times it may have felt like the universe was kind of holding out on you. But there seems to be a hold here that was purposeful, Gemini, because of the timing or the situation not being completely in alignment with what you were really wanting. And then the timing coming through during spring and summer, okay, that allows things to move forward. So, this also talks about romance, love, but also authority figures and staying in control. So, both of those areas are being highlighted. I don't mean for the long pause, but there's another message here and I don't want to miss it. For some of you, there's like, I'm sorry. This card keeps grabbing my attention and it's for a reason. Some of you, there's a fear of like something being taken from you, or someone, or something being stolen from you, or a loss. It's a fear-based energy, okay? But in the eyes of spirit, right? Now, in the eyes of ego, the ego perceives things as having a beginning and an end, including our lifespan. But in the eyes of our broader self, our higher self from spirit, it knows the eternalness of who you truly are, the eternity part of you, your soul. And so there is no endedness to that. It is infinite. And for some reason, there's an encouragement here to remind whoever is tuning in here that there is no endedness. There is nothing to fear. There is no permanent loss of anything. Because even those you lose, you know, through life experience, eventually will be reunited in the non-physical when you also choose to join the non-physical through your own transition of this life into your next. So there is no end and there is no beginning, and I don't really know why that's important to come out, but I clearly could not move on from the reading. I couldn't move forward until I said something about that. So let's go into the emotional space then, Gemini. The King of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, Seven of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the World, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so I feel like some of you have your guard up. Not in this very trust. You're not just gonna let anybody in, okay, into your heart space right now, especially if you don't trust them. Which I'm not here to talk you out of your intuition. By all means, if your intuition is saying, don't trust that, person or that place or whatever, listen to it, okay? Because I feel like we have those gut reactions for a reason. And I feel like there's something inside of you that is just not feeling open just for anyone right now, okay? So usually you're a very open-minded, social, communicative sign, okay, depending on your moon and rising. But I feel like during this time, which is interesting, you being on the more closed off side, the more serious, but then there's this back and forth going on in the emotions. So that's contributing to it as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like some of you is like this moment of processing, okay? And it being okay to go into that space when you need it, right? Because I feel like you're trying to almost maintain your composure, maintain your mental well-being, and to be open, right? But only to those select few is what I'm hearing, or only to those in the inner circle, or only to those whom you trust. And, you know, this is going to change. You're going to open up a little bit more eventually, okay? This is not permanent energy, just temporary. And then things are going to change as well. Start feeling more open again and like yourself. But there's this process, that's what it is. There's this process that you seem to be going through, Gemini, where you're literally needing to process your emotions. And that's what the back and forth is about. Like sometimes we want to skip the healing process. We want to go straight from feeling terrible to feeling awesome. But it's not sustainable because there's a lot of vibrational work that has to be done in between those two extremes. There's a process, they call this the process of healing or grieving, many books about it. I'm not a psychologist, but there's a lot of psychology books about this. There's stages for a reason. In the spiritual community, we talk about the emotional scale. And you can't go from the bottom of the emotional scale, which would be hopelessness, all the way to the top, which is elation, overnight. There's a process in between. And you move up that scale. You go from hopelessness to maybe, you know, anger. A lot of people go to anger next, maybe bitterness after that, maybe a sense of complacency, and then slowly start to find your way back to your center, to your joy, to your loving self. And it's a process, and we have to honor that process and find acceptance in each step along the way. And also not ever be ashamed of being out of alignment, being out of sync, being in a lower level emotion. Never beat yourself up for being where you are. You are where you are. All right. So you got to start somewhere, and acceptance is where it begins, right? So I feel like there's like this processing going on. Now, some of you have done quite a bit of this, and you are getting ready to break into like a higher elevated emotion. As evidenced by the World card, which talks about completions and freeing up of restrictions. Some of you still have quite a bit of processing to do because there's lots of you and we're on different timelines, but you know where you're at with it. In a general sense, no matter where you fall, there is this need to process something here. So let's go into the bigger spiritual picture, the Seven of Cups. The Six of Cups. I can still hear that song. There's nothing holding me back. Sorry. I think that's Shawn Mendes. Okay. Seven of Cups, Six of Cups, Six of Swords, Five of Swords. So Gemini, there's this process of deciding, making decisions on an emotional level that needs to happen. There's that word again, process. And some of you are, looking to the past. I'm getting the word reasoning as well, like your past reasoning or the reason for something in the past. But anyways, there's not going to be any solutions found in digging up the past, Gemini. Only more burdensome energy. So the encouragement really, really is to disconnect from the need to do that and focus on your healing, the things that make you feel good. Slow down a little bit, find your balance, and to be a little bit more disciplined here. But I just feel like there's something yet that you haven't figured out. And yet you're not going to figure it out by continually looking at what you don't understand. Because like you get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. So say you're looking at a situation and you don't understand it, and you're in the vibration of don't understand, I don't understand. Then the universe can only bounce back to you more misunderstandings. It cannot bounce back to you clarity from that space. So how do you get the clarity that you need? Or the understanding that you need? You got to move away from the situation, focus on something else for a little while, or soothe your perspective into a more loving space to where you are able to receive clarity. But yeah, I'm actually hearing the encouragement is to back off of it. Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Give it time, Gemini, because things are going to fall into place, especially when it comes to family and relationships. Give it time. Give it time. Right? Allow time for things to work out. Take the more balanced, slow approach, which is not always your favorite thing to do as an air sign. And I'm a triple air sign, so I get it. You know, like, I like, you know, quick and to the point. Like, I'm not trying to wait around. I can't even blame you, because I'd be one of those that wants to jump from sad to happy overnight too. Like, I don't have time for that. But the thing is you got all the time in the world because you're eternal, and also things cannot improve for you until you do the inner work. Otherwise, you just keep repeating the same and the same and the same and the same, right? So that's the encouragement, Gemini. Give it time. And let me see what the guidance card has to say for you. Soul power and soul solitude. This is so interesting because I started the reading by telling you I was getting two like polar opposite energies. And then look at these cards. You have red and blue. Like, these are the complete opposite energies here. One says soul power. Always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence and you have unlimited power. The second one says soul solitude. So one card is all about power and motivation, and the other one is about isolation, introversion, and solitude. That says your soul needs attention. There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the noise of the world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place for solitude. This is a time to pause, reflect, and a time for you. Wow. Awesome reading, Gemini. I hope that you enjoyed it. Zodiac signs that you could be connected with, or having your own chart, or just simply influencing the vibes here. I've got Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We got the whole air gang here. And water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and Aries energy. But take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, please do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me also on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I just reached 10,000 followers on my Facebook. Yay! I have videos and content over there. Not all of them are tarot. A lot of them are just vlogs, me talking random stuff. But if you're interested, you can follow me on either of those platforms. All of it linked in the description box below, as well as the About section of my YouTube, where you can find the donation link. If you'd like to donate, you can do so there. Otherwise, wishing you the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste. Bye.